الأفعال الخمسة the 5 verbs in Arabic language. أهلا بكم إلى درس اليوم في برنامج تكلم العربية مع ObaKids على قناة ObaKids لينك. اليوم بإذن الله تعالى سنتكلم عن الأفعال الخمسة. You're all welcome to this program Speak Arabic with ObaKids. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss the 5 verbs in Arabic language. Discussion. In our previous lessons, we have discussed the major classification of verbs in Arabic language, which are the past tense, the present tense, the command tense, and probably the future tense. In this lesson, we are going to discuss another important set of verbs in Arabic language. This set of verb is not categorically put under the major types of verb because it is as well has a lot to do with the present tense form of verb. This set of verb is known as الأفعال الخمسة, the 5 verbs. What are the 5 verbs? 5 verbs are the present tense form of verb that end with the following suffixes or attachments. The dual alif, aliful isnain. 2. The masculine plural waw jama'at. 3. The second person singular feminine ya al mukhataba. So the 5 verbs in Arabic language simply are yaf'alani, taf'alani, yaf'aluna, taf'aluna, and taf'alina. It is very important to know that when these 5 verbs are in position to take a rafu sign, like being in a position where they stand alone and or not preceded by any particles of nasb or jazm, the noon at their ends will be clearly put and added to them. But whenever they are in the position to take a nasb or a jazm sign, like being preceded by one of the nasb or al-jazm particles, then the noon at their end will be removed or erased. Let us briefly explain the definition of 5 verbs with examples as stated above. 1. The dual alif aliful isnain. The dual alif aliful isnain is always attached to a present tense if the action is performed by 2 people. The dual alif can be attached to actions performed by 2 people who are not present at the point of the discussion, the third person dual. Likewise, the action performed by 2 people whom we are talking to, the second person dual. Examples are the third person dual. Al-mudarrisani yaktubani ala sabura. The 2 teachers are writing on the board. Al-amilani ya'malani fil masna'i. The 2 workers are working in the factory. The second person dual. Antuma tadrusani fil jami'a. You're both studying in the university. Antuma taktubani ala sabura. You're both writing on the board. You see that the verbs that are أفعال الخمسة here are yaktubani, ya'malani, tadrusani, and taktubani. The reason why they are all أفعال الخمسة is because alif and noon are attached to their ends, which make them أفعال الخمسة. 2. The masculine plural waw jama'at. This is attached to a present tense whenever the statement is addressing the second person masculine plural or the third person masculine plural. Examples are the third person plural. Al-mudarrisuna yaktubuna ala sabura. The teachers are writing on the board. Al-umalu ya'maluna fil masna'i. The workers are working in the factory. The second person plural. Antum taktubuna ala sabura. You're all writing on the board. Antum ta'maluna fil masna'i. You're all working in the factory. The أفعال الخمسة here are يكتبون, يعملون, تكتبون, and تعملون. You see that all of these verbs are أفعال الخمسة because واو and noon are attached to their end, which make them to be for plural, masculine plural. Three, the second person feminine يا المخاطبة. This is always attached to a present tense whenever the expression is addressing the second person singular female only. Examples are أنتِ تدرسين في الجامعة. You're studying in the university. أنتِ تكتبين على السبورة. You're writing on the board. The أفعال الخمسة here are تدرسين and تكتبين. The reason why they're أفعال الخمسة is because ياو and noon are attached to their end, which is for second person feminine. All the above examples are in their nominative case, that is, in a position to take a Dhamma parsing mark only, and that's why they all have noon attached to their ends. Now, what happens if the five verbs are preceded by one of the particles of a nasb or al-jazm? If the five verbs are preceded by one of the particles, then the noon at their ends will be removed as a result. Let us look at the following examples consisting of the three positions, al-raf'u, al-nasb, and al-jazm. The five verbs in their different positions. الأفعال الخمسة في حالة الرفع ونصب وجزم. الأفعال الخمسة في حالة الرفع. The five verbs in nominative position without free particles. الأفعال الخمسة في حالة النصب. The five verbs in accusative position with lan particle. الأفعال الخمسة في حالة الجزم. The five verbs in genitive position with lam particle. يفعلان, لن يفعلا, لم يفعلا. تفعلان, لن تفعلا, لم تفعلا. يفعلون, لن يفعلوا, لم يفعلوا. تفعلون, لن تفعلوا, لم تفعلوا. تفعلين, لن تفعلي, لم تفعلي. You will see that in the first column, all of the verbs in the first column, they don't have harfun nasb or jazm before them, so that is why there is noon at their ends. But in the verbs in the second and third column, they have harfun nasb and harfun jazm before them respectively, so the noon at their end is removed. Explanation of the table. Now, a critical look at the above table, we will discover that the first column consists of the five verbs with either the dual alif aliful isnaini or the masculine plural wawa jama'a, or second person singular feminine ya al mukhataba, which are all in their al-raf'u positions. This can be seen by the addition of a noon to the end of each of the verbs. The noon is added because the verbs are not preceded by any particles of nasb or jazm. Hence, they are in the position to take a dhamma parsing mark. The inclusion of the noon at the end indicates that the verbs are in the right or rough position to take a dhamma sign. However, looking at the second column, we will discover that there is addition of one of the nasb particles, which is lan. This indicates that the five verbs are in position to take al-fatha parsing mark. As a result of that, the noon at the end of the verbs were erased. This means that whenever the five verbs are in the position to take al-fatha sign, then the omission of a noon will replace the clear al-fatha sign. Likewise, the last column, which consists of one of the adjustment particles, lam, like the omission of a noon at the end of the five verbs. In this case, also denotes that the verb is in position to take a sukun parsing mark, just like a nasb case. So, whenever the five verbs are in the position to take a jazm parsing mark, then there will be omission or deletion of the noon at the end of the verbs. The verbs will only end with the noun when they are not preceded by any particles of the present tense, which are either nasb or jazm particles. Note: 1. The 5 verbs must be in their present tense form, hence they're derivatives of the present tense form verb فعل مضارع. 2. There are other particles of the present tense from al-nasb and al-jazm, particles other than the 2 mentioned above, which are lan and lam. Those 2 are only used as examples. 3. A rough position nominative case means that the verbs are in position to take a dhamma parsing mark or sign. 4. The nasb position accusative case means that the verbs are in position to take al-fatha parsing mark or sign. 5. Al-jazm position genitive case means that the verbs are in the position to take a sukun parsing mark or sign. Hope you enjoy our class for today. Join us in the next class for another episode of Speak Arabic with ObaKids on ObaKids Link TV here. شكرا على المشاهدة. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel ObaKids Link TV. To read our Arabic lessons, visit our website www.obatutor.com, and for learning coding and programming languages, subscribe to ObaTech and ObaCode YouTube channel. Thank you all for your support.